Good afternoon, y'all. I want to start this off by saying, yo, rest in peace, Uncle Rob. It wasn't that long ago, not even 2 weeks ago. You talked to me and Anna about coming to New York, spending some time up there, and we was like, we would. But this is what gets to me. Like, everyone that knows me, you were one of my favorite uncles. And it really bothers me to know that I just recently talked to you and you told me you was good. You told Anna too that you was good, and you filled me in on some things that I didn't know. And like about you and Uncle Chuck and you and Uncle Cleve being classmates, y'all had y'all little art crew and a few other things that I didn't know. And we talked about other things like Uncle Bo Diddley, the way he had left home and some things. And we talked about, family members that passed away and other things that I, didn't have knowledge of or semi kind of forgot about. And it got me thinking, like, with the way I lost my dad, my brother, because we talked about all this, the way my dad died, my mom, and all my siblings. And then, like, we talked about how I felt with losing Cousin Faye, Cousin William Earl, and this was all just not even 2 weeks ago. And losing other family members, and I was like, dang, Unc, it seems like that the majority of my life, that every time y'all came to Wilmington to visit or something, and someone asked where I was always incarcerated or having to work. And it kind of bothers me because it's true. It's like I talked to my pops today, and I was like, Dad, I called you yesterday because we were supposed to go to Portsmouth to go fishing with my dad. And I called my pops and I was like, well, Dad, I called you yesterday twice and you didn't answer, so we went to where we normally go fishing. And he was like, well, you should have called me when you got there. I was like, yo, Pop, when we got there, I did call you, but you didn't answer. And he was like, oh, he probably left his phone in the truck while he was cutting his grass. He does that all the time. He's like me. He always leaving his phone somewhere away from him. It's not like he's doing it on purpose. He be so focused on what he's trying to do that phone isn't important at that time. And I get it. He'll be 88 this year, so I get it. I'm 55 and I do it all the time. The wife always telling me, or Stanky always telling me, our daughter, like, you never have your phone on you. And I get the reason why I don't always have my phone on me now, because it's always something going on. And I don't constantly like to hear or receive bad news. And That's like when I was talking to Uncle Rob, I was like, well, I called you a certain day of this and this, and I like the way he was like, a lot of times when you call, he 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 would see that I called or something, but he wasn't really talking on the phone like that anymore. And he was like, for y'all who don't know, if my Uncle Rob didn't call me Michael, he would say, or Mike, he would say Bubba. On this particular day, he was like, Bubba, just because I didn't answer and call you back, don't think I wasn't always looking at your social media to make sure you was good. And I was like, what? So he was like, yeah, I know you good. He was like, I always know you was good. He was like, because Anna makes sure you stay out of trouble. And then it made me smile and think. And he said something else. And this was all, like I said, not even 2 weeks ago, because we talked for like 2 hours. And he was like, I know you always good. Anna always got you. And I was like, yeah, she do. And then he was like, I'm always checking your social media. He was like, I may not comment or post nothing on it, but I know you good because of Anna. And I'm like, right. And then, like I said, we was talking about a lot of times when they would come visit, I was always either incarcerated or working. And he was like, he told me straight up, like, yo, I'm proud of you. Look how long you haven't been in trouble. Look how long you've been free. Look at what you accomplished. I'm proud of you. He was, and I asked him about his guitar, because I've been telling my Uncle Rob, a lot of people don't know my uncle played the guitar. And I was like, well, Unc, I need to get you on some of these beats. And I would send him some of my stuff via Facebook. And he would never really say nothing about the tracks or whatever. But when I did talk to him, when he would answer, I would always say something about the music to him. And he told me when we just spoke, like I said, under 2 weeks ago, he was like, Bubba, keep doing your thing. And now I told him I was getting discouraged about a lot of stuff. And he was like, you came this far, you lost everything and everyone, and you didn't give up, and you still pushing forward. And he was like, before you used to always just lash out and go off and this and that. And he was like, in the few short years since you lost your dad, your brother, and your sister Keita, that you 100% totally matured. And that made me feel a certain kind of way. I can't say it. It made me, I don't even know how to express it, because I'm getting these jewels coming from my Uncle Rob to me. A man that I looked up to. There's not too many men I looked up to. I always looked up to my real dad, Reverend Leroy Bunton, who I love with all my heart. I love my Uncle Rob and my dad and my Uncle JB and my pops Reuben Taylor, because everybody know Reuben Taylor been in my life since I was about to turn 9 years old. Until right now, I'm 55. So to me, he's still my dad too. I can never take away what this man has done for me. The love and respect. Like, me and my pops talk several times a week. Like I say, he's about to turn 88. When I lost my real dad, my pops was like, you need to get to Wilmington. When I lost Jerome, you need to get to Wilmington. When I lost Keita, you need to get to Georgia. When I was displaying concerns, like, if my pops, with me, he's totally different with me than he is with the rest of his children. If I say the word my dad know I'm faltered in some kind of way and I'm feeling a certain kind of way, and he might think that mentally I'll venture off and be like, I'm not going, I'm not doing this, no, or what have you. So I can respect, the way he come at me. Because to be honest, I do get that way. Because I've been dogged and mistreated for so long and I never saw it. I just put up with all kinds of stuff and in the name of chasing love. And when I told him today, like, I lost my Uncle Rob, and he was like, what? You lost your Uncle Rob? I'm like, yeah. You know how I felt about my uncle? And he was like, yeah, I know how you felt about your dad's brother. See, and that's one thing a lot of other people don't know. Just because I say my dad, some people get it twisted when I say my dad, because he's my dad too. He was with my mom for a long time. And he not one time did he not say, oh, that's not my son. Just like when we went to the family union, the boat that he got, he let everybody at the family, hey, y'all know that boat I got? My son Michael got me and gave me this boat. So he was like, you need to get to New York and make sure everything is, good. So it's just weird, crazy, and strange that this man never met my Uncle Rob, but he always knew who my Uncle Rob was. And he knew that that was my dad's biological brother and how I felt about him. And his heart went out to Uncle Rob because he know how I felt about my Uncle Rob. So that's cool. And like I said, that's why my dad come at me differently than he come at the rest of his kids, because I've always gave this man trouble. He used to miss work because I'm at school fighting all the time for years. But he always kept telling me how good of a heart I had, and I never could see it because a lot of stuff that I experienced and went through in Wilmington as a kid that was never addressed as a child until I was in my 40s. That started to become addressable with sexual abuse as a child and toting weapons and killings I've seen, and being called the N-word as a child while someone had just killed my friend on a tricycle and I'm pushing him on a tricycle, my friend Dwayne, and it's just a lot of trauma. And then you add, like, until my pop stepped in my life, me wanting my dad to always be there. And as a kid, you don't know why your mom and daddy separate and things of this nature. All you know is you want your parents together or whatever. But I can say this about my real dad. When we moved away, and my mom's Lula, just like Lula is my mom's. Lula Bunton Kennedy, that's my mom's. I can't see it any other way. After my mom and my dad divorced, Lula, my mom's married my dad. I've never called her Lula Because to me, that's not her name. Her name is Mom or Mama. And I can never disrespect her. Just like after my mom's and my dad got divorced, my dad got remarried, married Frances Bunton. Not one time did I call Frances Frances. Frances was Mom's. That is a respect thing. Then the only difference is this time when Frances passed away and my dad got remarried, I never called Sadie Mom. It was no disrespect to her. She was the first one that I called by her name, which was Sadie, because she told me to call her Sadie. So it's a respect thing, which takes me back to the story and the situation with my Uncle Rob, where he was like, when they would come to town and I would always be incarcerated or working, and I couldn't finagle getting out of jail, and I couldn't finagle work because I was the main worker. And I get it. And he was like, how much time I missed. Excuse me. And he's right. I missed a lot of time behind being incarcerated and constantly working. I missed a lot of time from my children, being incarcerated and constantly working. With my immediate family, I missed a lot of time due to these things. And like I say, he was just telling me, like, he was proud of me from the person that I used to be to where I'm at now. And that made my heart melt. And he was like, I could tell that you were smiling. And I'm not gonna lie, I did have the biggest smile on my face. And all my family members say, and my real friends like Dawn, Dawn is my family because she's married to my cousin Teresa, cousin Shanetta, my cousin Mike, my cousin Duke, and hey, even my cousin Kevin. And I ain't gonna go into all my other friends, and this and that. Everyone always says, I ain't never smiled when they see me doing videos or taking pictures. And on this particular day, talking to Uncle Rob, I was smiling. And it made me feel good to know that someone sees the change in me. Outside of my pops. My real dad saw it before he died. And Jerome even had told me he was proud of me for the man that I have become. My sister Keita was always telling me, which was weird for me, right before she passed away. So it's like all that stuff is aligning, and my mother. So all this stuff is aligning and intertwining to the reckoning that I'm not the person that I ever thought I was. Because I always tried to put family first. There's no amount of money, none, no amount of property can ever replace the power of a loved one. None. A lot of people feel like money and property and possessions could change or replace the loss of a loved one. It cannot. And I've lost a lot. A lot. Through demise, passing on. As a child, as a teenager, and as an adult. And now as a senior. There's nothing that can replace that loved one. And my thing is that I've always put my family first before I thought of me. I don't care if it was my children, my mama, or any of my moms, my dads, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my nieces or nephews, even my pets. I've always put the love of someone else over me. And I never understood that. And my Uncle Rob told me I gotta stop putting others over me. And he told me to work on it. And like I said, all this conversation is from not even 2 weeks ago. And he was like, just make sure you focus on you and your craft. He was like, a lot of people gonna knock you because you're no longer the same vessel. And when he used the word vessel, that made me laugh because he didn't use words like that when it came talking to me. But it was just funny. But I get it. And it's like, it's just hard right now. Because mostly a lot of people see the good in me because of Anna and Selena. My mama had told me, make sure you take care of my daughter and my granddaughter. My dad was like, take care of my daughter and my granddaughter. Jerome, take care of my sister-in-law. Uncle Rob, you're a better person because of Anna. So a lot of stuff is just strange and weird that I'm starting to understand now. And I want people to know, we as humans, we take a lot of things for granted. We never know when we're going to talk to someone else.